Yo, yo. What's up, cool kids, ladies and gentlemen? Come take a little walk with me. Hopefully, y'all did y'all morning routine and all that stuff I showed y'all. So, this is gonna be the last video I make until the G until the GTA 6 until the GTA 6 trailer. So, let's just go over a few things real quick. So, first things first, you all should be walking 3 times a day. One time in the morning, one time in the afternoon, one time in the afternoon, and then one time in the evening or nighttime, which is from about 4 o'clock to about I would say the evening time from about 4 to about 7. So that's the first thing. And then you should be exercising, as in jumping jacks, squats, sit-ups, push-ups, the little arm thing I showed y'all with the leg, like putting your foot like upwards. What else? I just say push-ups, and then you should be lifting little 10-pound weights. You should be lifting 10-pound weights 30 times. What's weird ass thing doing, bro? Look at it. Oh, that. Ain't worried about it though. Oh, yeah, he good people. He waved. As I'm saying, I don't know. People be on some weird shit. I remember one time I was walking at night. A little Hispanic shorty, she almost hit me with the car on purpose, I think, on some goofy shit. So should be crazy sometimes. But like I said, you should be lifting 10-pound weights 30 times. And then it's a random car in the middle of the street, just chilling. So after that, and then hold on, I'm trying to think. Okay, so like I was saying, you should be doing these little workouts and all that. Then after working out, you should be drinking water and all that. You should be drinking, by the time it's 12 o'clock, you should be drinking at least four water bottles by 12 o'clock. So, to make sure you can be nice and hydrated and you don't feel sad and all that. You know, you should be, after you're done walking, you should be grounding. You know, putting your feet in the grass. You should listen to one good album, a positive album. You know, to get your day going. No breakfast. But if you feel hungry, you should eat a veggie lunch around 11 or 12 o'clock. But not really 11. That still seems kind of early. But I would say from about 12 or 1 o'clock. Nice little veggie lunch. And if you haven't tried it already, you should go vegan or vegetarian. I recommend doing vegetarian first and then go vegan. But, you know, just to build discipline and all that. Because I was saying a long time ago how okay, yeah, I'll say that. So long story short, with all this stuff, the gist of everything, we should all be squared away with all this knowledge and all that. So you should have went woke. You know, everybody tries to insult that type of stuff because it tries to oppress you and everything. There's so many people outside. I hate talking to the phone like this. I'm not nervous or nothing. I just, Anyway. So long story short, I was gonna say how everybody should at least delete their social media one time on top of doing a social media detox. So you should do a social detox. You should do a social media detox first, and then delete your social media one time. I would say for at least a month. At least a month. So you should do that. Hold on. I think it's somebody having a party. Everybody out here, man. Hold on, I don't want to look like a weirdo. Let me go and cut this shit off real quick. Yo, I'm back. There was so many people outside, I had to make sure I had to be on my swivel, make sure nobody checked my chain or nothing, you feel me? Everybody was all on the street. You know, being around my people, it'd be a coin toss sometimes, you know. I didn't even notice having a cookout down here. I had no clue. Smelled the food and everything, but still. Anyway, it's like I was saying, there's so many people out here, you know. They put up right up on me. Shit crazy. Alright. So like I was saying, pretty much I recommend everybody delete their social medias. Everybody go vegan. All that type of stuff. So like I said, I try not to look like a weirdo talking to myself on the phone, you know. That's why I like to make the videos in the morning time, because it seems like there's nobody out here, but you know, it is what it is. So I was saying how in 2018 and 2019 we pretty much reached something called the age of Aquarius. That's pretty much when it started, and everything's being revealed, like the truth and everything of like being in a society, you know, the women, our parents, friends, everything's been exposed. So now it's on you if you want to still live in like a fantasy world, or you know, want to play what's the name to it? I think, what is it called? Cognitive dissonance or something like that. You know, everybody should, you know, because it seems like everybody lying nowadays. So, you know, it's hard to, you may be kind of ostracized in society for telling the truth and all that. They may call you schizophrenic. They may call you manic. Like, they try to gaslight you and all that, but it's a lot of truth. You know, I'm just showing this little dead end part. I don't know what's back here. You know, get chill right here. Just making sure. This person driving off fast. You know, I gotta be on a swivel, even though I'm in the suburbs. You know, like I said, they try to turn it into the hood. You know, but yeah, man, I was saying how this is pretty much the last video to GTA 6. I made a video a couple weeks ago saying how everything is gonna change once GTA 6 is released, and as y'all can see, it's kind of changing a little bit now. Now make sure nothing pop out in these woods. Y'all see the dude Cyberleak, he's dropping a lot of stuff. And I think Penguins just came out and said this stuff is, look at that, it's a whole little, I've never seen this over here. It's like a trail in a way. You feel me? And I just hear a bunch of rustling and all that. You know. So anywho, you know, gotta make sure a lion don't pop out on me. A lion, tiger, or bear. So, but yeah, I was pretty much saying how the 10 things, pretty much, not 10 exactly, but pretty much just how we all left social media in 2018 to about 2022. And if you haven't did that, you know, you're missing out on a lot of stuff. Well, you're missing out on I don't know. I don't even know how to articulate it. But just pretty much, I just recommend y'all get off social media. You know, y'all shouldn't be on this joint scrolling anymore. That's all that doom scrolling and all that. Turns out that actually ruins your brain and it's unhealthy. Okay. As I just hear a bunch of rustling. Alright, I'm gonna keep it moving. I see somebody opening the garage. I don't want to look like I'm being weird. Okay. So anywho, I'm gonna say it one more time. First things first, we've all deleted our social medias, and we pretty much was woken up to reality. And I recommend you isolate yourself for a little bit. You know, not having friends, not being around family, associates. Stop working for a little bit, all at the same time, so you can really get a chance to know yourself and realize that it's really just you out here. You know, like, yeah, we live in a society and everything, but on a primal level, especially as men, we have to continue to pass our bloodline and all that, you know, and have kids and all that type of stuff. So, and don't forget, the only person that can have sex is you. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody can have sex for you. So, at the end of the day, it's really just you out here. You know, like on a caveman level, Neanderthal level. You know. So yeah, and like I said, the only people that's on social media nowadays is only the chronically online, trolls. And hold on real quick, that little party that the people was at, I actually know that person. That's Jamil Juan and his sister's place, but you know, I don't really talk to them no more, and I didn't see him outside, so I didn't say what's up or nothing. But like I said, I know everybody around over here. Like, we all used to hang out a long time ago. You know, we used to be walking these, like how I'm walking right now, we all used to be like this. Just having fun. But anyway, I was saying how the only people that you're seeing on social media, and I'm proving it on Twitter, that it's literally all it's just spam, trolls, scammers, foreigners, people that are, people that have spare time, getting drunk and high and all that. So pretty much, if you're arguing with people who are drunk online, or they're mad and they're trying to get the anger out, so they just talking trash and all that type of shit. So the social media has become very lame, and the people, like all the cool people like myself, we don't really post on there anymore because it's nothing but trolls, and they find cool people like attractive and all that, so they're kind of, I hate to say this word, but they're kind of gay for us and all that type of stuff. Like literally, like you can see the comment sections. They post like gay memes. They post like AI. Is that a bird? Yes indeed. I can't even show y'all that. I'll probably make it banned. You feel me? That's all I can show. But they picking at them though for sure. But my homie Can, they be trolling him with gay things and all that stuff. Because we're handsome men, so they do like little weird things. And some of these people actually masturbate to their music and all that stuff. So it's pretty wild, man. I don't really, like I said, I don't like these type of fans and all that. So that's why I really don't even really want to put content on social media and all that. But I mean, I'm not trying to do hand-to-hand passing out CDs and all that goofy shit. That's kind of lame. Well, it's not lame, but it's like risky. So yeah, like I said, everybody should be off social media now. I mean, unless you're looking at the news, like your feed should just be news, investments, and self-improvement. Of course, little funny things sometimes, but if your feed is all funny every day, it's kind of, or if it's all just funny, goofy shit, you're on the wrong side of social media. Like if you want to look at silly stuff, you should be looking at, cartoons and all that. Or movies and stand-up comedy and all that. Because people's idea of funny is not really funny anymore. It's just like degenerate, Because look at all those live streamers. They're not even funny. They just yell, have fake emotions. It's like fake outrage. Or they may just say like the hard R, the capital N-E-R, you feel me? Like all they doing is just rage baiting black people, you feel me? It's kind of, because they know they could get like emotion out of us. And they know that's the only one. They know that's the only competition. Yeah. What, 12 minutes in? But yeah, though. Like I said, I don't really like posting content anymore, so I recommend you all just, you should be making your own content, you feel me? And having your own type of hobbies, but all this internet stuff and social media, all that stuff is lame now. And it's been lame for some years now. Like I try to stay on it, but it's like, it's almost insufferable. she just threw out a whole water thing. Let me see. And y'all should be outside walking with me, or y'all should already have done this today. It's my first time doing this all day, I ain't gonna lie. And I was too busy making all these videos. Next thing you know, it's 4:16, you feel me? But now you don't have to let your hair grow. I recommend you do it, but you know, unfortunately everybody can't let their hair grow like this. And once again, I didn't purposely make my hair like this, by the way. You know, my hair used to be like an afro. It was all picked out and everything, but I ended up washing my hair, and you know, I just let it do what it do. You feel me? Like, this is real natural. You feel me? It's called freeform locks, I guess. Like, I didn't even do the research on all that stuff, but I just know it just makes sense. You feel me? On top of that, I like it. It's, you know, some people like it. Some people like how I look like this. But you know, if I had a girlfriend or something, they probably would be like, "Oh, I don't like it." You know, trying to make you conform and all that. I mean, it looks good now. Probably when it was like smaller, it probably looked all nappy and everything. It probably still looks nappy to y'all, but as you can see, it's like, you know, like real natural. You see, your shirt off, all that stuff. You should be getting the sun, all that type of stuff. Nice and healthy. Yeah, I'm gonna run it down one more time. I'm gonna say that you should delete your social medias, or at least go on a social media detox for a month. Understand that we are in a specific era and age and on Earth. You know, like it's not it's not 100% bullshit. You know, like we can't really prove it 100%, but you know, they have like the astrology and the Kali Yuga, if you will, and they talk about these type of cycles in our societies, and they claim that we're in a time where everything is being exposed, and that we also live in a time where it's kind of like negative. You feel me? So if you see a lot of negative spirits going on, like a negative energy and all that, and everything just seems off. Not only is that because of the pandemic, but it's because on a Hinduism level, we're in a cycle called the Kali Yuga. So, and they said that's like 1,000 years or something. It's a cool helicopter. I can't really. Oh yeah, they doubling up. This, and maybe a triple one. I can't really show because of the trees, and I can't really, you know, I can't turn the camera. But like I said, I'm a 15-minute walk from the Andrews Air Force Base, but it's like a 5-minute drive, you know. So I'm seeing all the cool planes, you feel me? I looked on Twitter, I didn't get to see it 100%, but I think it's like some Freedom 250 anniversary, something like that. So that's cool. About to hit me with the car. So. But anyway, I recommend everybody eat healthy. Like, you shouldn't be eating sweets anymore. As much as I love sweets, I still eat sweets sometimes, but I recommend everybody eat healthy 100% all the time. You know, because like I said, we don't really live in that time anymore where we can just eat unhealthy things and all that. So I really recommend going vegetarian. And I realized that a lot of spirits are attracted to sweets and all that type of stuff. Like you could get, like if you eat sweets a lot and you go to bed, you end up getting wet dreams and all that. That's why I really recommend don't even having sex for real, especially casual sex, you know, because all that stuff is very energetic, and you know, if you have sex with people, it stays with you and all that. So therefore, you really got to choose wisely. And how you could really check is by like people that have like tattoos, people that still talk with like slang and all that. Like I try to articulate myself, but I don't really talk in slang that much. I try to talk in English. But, you know, that's just our culture and all that, so it is what it is. But you know, people that still text like in slang and all that, it's a red flag. Y'all should watch all that type of stuff. And you know, people that dye their hair, people that still wear fake hair. People that still stay on social media, people that still look at, you know, live streaming and all that. Even though it's the live streaming is kind of entertaining, but like some of them, you know, looking at people like Rakai and, you know, what's the other dude's name? Deshae Frost and all them type of characters. You can maybe look at Duke Dennis, IShowSpeed. Even IShowSpeed is a red flag, but you know, he kind of calmed down with all that stuff. Cause I remember a long time ago he was doing a lot of gay shit. You feel me? That's enough for Aiden Ross. You know, all them type of things. Like y'all shouldn't be looking at stuff like that anymore. That's so outdated. You know. If y'all really want to look at something cool, I mean, not cool, you know, like the appearance wise, but you know, if you want to look at somebody like interesting, y'all should be looking at somebody named Ice Poseidon. You know, the homie, he traveled the entire world, man. You know, he's the one that started all this live streaming stuff, not YouTube, but the live streaming, you know. So if y'all really want to look at the pinnacle of the internet, you should be looking at the CX community and Ice Poseidon and all them. But I haven't looked at them in a long time, so I can't vouch for the new stuff. You know, he used to do these cool RV trips, and I still recommend it. And see, you should be walking around your neighborhood like this. You should be, if you're not comfortable in your neighborhood, that's a red flag. You know, like you should be letting people ruin your neighborhood and all that type of stuff, because all that hood stuff is over with. Like, yeah, people could chill outside and all that, but if you feel some type of way, if you feel like you can't just travel your neighborhood, you just gonna have to kick them people out your neighborhood, man. I mean, everybody can't do that, but you feel me? It is what it is. So yeah, like I said, I mean, these videos are cool, I guess, but I kind of don't like making these type of videos anymore. So I'm gonna have to make another new path again. this is gonna be the last time I speak on all this type of stuff. You know, leave the internet. Be aware of the age of Aquarius. Be aware of the era that we're in. You know, because it's up from here. Like, if everybody isn't spiritual by now, I don't really know. I love how they did that. They did Mercedes on Mercedes. This is a beautiful purple color. I can't show it 100%, but you know, I don't want to show people's license plates and houses and all that. That's kind of invasive. You know, and on the right across the street is another Mercedes. You feel me? And I would love to have something like that, but it's like, I love SUVs. You feel me? Like, it's such a beautiful day today. You know, it's Sunday. It's what, 4 o'clock. It's not too hot, not too cold. You know, the summertime is winding down, so you know, so it's nice to appreciate all this stuff, because it's probably gonna be a cold winter. You know, I don't really know what's next. So yeah, that's pretty much the video. I just want to let y'all know that we shall be taking a break from social media now. Because like I said, after that GTA 6 trailer hit, that's, you know, society gonna change. Like, I'm very anticipated for it. You know, they said even the driving is totally different from GTA 5, allegedly. That was the dude from, if y'all look at Hot 97, I guess he has some type of insider knowledge. I don't know how, but, you know, he was speaking on that. Just type in Hot 97 GTA 6. It should be like a black guy with a fitted cap or something like that. Next to the white dude with the glasses. I don't know these people, but, you know, I still remember Hot 97 from a long time ago, but like I said, I don't look at that type of stuff no more, so, you know, and they're not really talking about shit, you know. Like, that's the first time I've seen him all year, and, well, that's the time I've seen him in 3 years plus. And, you know, everybody, I don't know why everybody isn't liberal by now, or libertarian. You know, everybody's trying to be like Democrats and Republicans. That's, like I said, all that stuff is over with. If you see what happened with J.D. Vance, he put the blame game on Joe Biden and them. And then I promise you, if we got to talk to Joe Biden, he would say, "Oh, the Republicans did this before them," you know, because it's both of them. And y'all see how it's like y'all see how it's a $40 trillion debt that we have in this country. You know, I don't know how we're gonna pay it off, man. They say, what's that thing called? Kicking the can down the road. So they're gonna put that on our generation, because you crazy as fuck if you think the 40 to 60 year olds are gonna pay that off. You know, like, them people so retarded they can't even. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't work at 9 to 5, they'll be over with for them. You know, they didn't create shit. They were just willing to work the jobs and be team players and all that. You know, because they grew up in the crack era and all that. So you never know who would have been doing crack and all that stuff. You know, especially in the DMV. So it's like, they had this thing called PCP. It was called like bombing in fluid or something like that. They would get like a cigarette and they would dip it in some type of weirdo shit. You know what I mean? I don't know what it does to them, but, you know. And that's not the least. You know, they had acid, crack, heroin, all that type of weirdo stuff. So it's like, hey, cough syrup. So that generation is pretty much cooked. Do you feel me?
Like they're cooked spiritually, mentally, and physically. So we're gonna have to take care of them, I guess. You know, I mean, it's your choice if you want to take care of them and that, but you know, a lot of us gonna have to take care of them because they're just gonna be out on the street and they're just gonna be robbing people all day. So it's like, you know, why you think we have like unemployment and welfare and all that type of stuff? These people would have been at the White House just going crazy. You know, like the guards, they probably would have been shooting people every day, every hour. You know, I'm surprised we're not in anarchy right now, because this, you know, and they talking about maybe next year we may run out of food and all that, but they talked about that a few years ago. You feel me? So all that stuff is like a coin toss, because they're not gonna really tell us if it was a real food outage. Because look what's happening. What was I gonna say? Oh, look how people are doing with flock cameras. Look what people are doing with flock cameras and PlayStation with the digital games. So people are uncompromised with that. Even the Rockstar GTA 6 thing. So if all that stuff is going on, imagine what they're gonna do for survival. You feel me? It smells so good out here. They had the burnt hot dogs. It smells so good. And see, if I wasn't recording right now, I'd say, hey, can I get one? And they would give it to me. So, yeah, man. Like I said, I like making these little videos, but I don't like talking about negativity anymore. I'm about to. I just walked the whole neighborhood. I'm about to walk some more, but I really got to use the bathroom. You feel me? Drinking all that water, you know. And then, as you can see, it's already 30 minutes, so it's about to cut off and all that. You feel me? So. But yeah, it feels so good out here. It's not too hot, not too cold. You know, it's a nice little breeze. You remember that song I just did? When I catch a breeze, I catch a breeze. I was in the studio somewhere making hits. Alright, so I'm back home. I'm gonna cut it off real quick, just so I can use the bathroom. I'm still keep it going. Hey, hello, squirrel. And I don't know if y'all seen that Kingdom Hearts 4. That looks really, really cool. You know, I haven't played a Kingdom Hearts game since PlayStation 2. And then I was so young, I couldn't even beat that game. I think I made it to like the second or third level. You feel me? Hold on real quick. I don't want y'all to hear me pee, man. I can't be that black pill. Alright, I'm finished. So I also recommend that you don't use the bathroom. I didn't know about that type of stuff. But see how they tell us to the last minute, but turns out we're not supposed to be on our phone while using the bathroom. We're not supposed to be scrolling on our phone while using the bathroom, because they said we could get like hemorrhoids or something like that. And I'm like, how is that even possible? You know? Like they say, looking at TV. If you look at TV for long periods of time, you could possibly get kidney stones and all this demonic shit. You feel me? I hope I didn't just sell my address, but I don't give a fuck. I could care less. Alright. So we're still walking on another side of the neighborhood. You know, that was like my morning routine walk. But I started walking like outside of that. So, once again, I'm loving this cookout food, man. Like I said, I need to learn how to cook, man. Like I said, I don't really have no money. I don't have any money to be buying ribs, and I don't have any money to buy ribs and cookout food, because, you know, I spent all my money on other bullshit, you know. And on top of that, I don't know how to cook it, so I'd be just like how I told y'all with the scrambled eggs. I used about 8 eggs, It didn't even cook him for real. So this dickhead about to smack him with the car. You know. Which I'd be like Sunday driver. So it feels so good. I know y'all hear that breeze. It's very, very nice. Once again, after you're done your walk, you should go in a backyard or something and just put your feet in the grass and listen to some music. There's so many cars. We got on this side. Like I said, it'd be crazy, man. Look at this. Everybody coming through, man. All that stuff. Now, I used to want a car like that, like the little Mustangs and Chargers and all that, until I seen a lot of people with it, and it's kind of, like I said, once I start seeing a lot of people with it, it kind of ruins the vibe and coolness, you know, because a lot of lame dudes think they cool, but they not really cool, so it just brings down the value. It's like, just like how I showed you that video on my shorts, how that dude Anton was talking about he doesn't really want a Corvette anymore because all the dudes are faking it, as well as the Lamborghinis. And matter of fact, did y'all see that news about Andrew Tate? Turns out he didn't even own that Bugatti, man. I'm like, that broke my heart. You know, his Bugatti Chevron, I believe, that, you know, when he was like, what color is your Bugatti? I gotta adjust my. He was like, what color is your Bugatti? And it's still impressive that he was able to rent it, but that's two different things, you feel me? All you gotta do is establish a little bit of credit and have a little bit of rank, which is still impressive in itself, but it's totally different. There's a difference between renting that and owning that. You know, they say he was renting the Bugatti and the Aston Martin. I mean, he still had a few other cars, but that's not the point. That's why I said it's important. Like, he was talking a lot of real knowledge a long time ago, but now he's like once again, he's a troll now. Like, all these people, that's why I don't recommend really following these people for real. That's why I don't recommend following any people on social media anymore. You know, I used to really respect these people until you realize that they're frauds. But, you know, once again, you could tell the red flags in people. You know, he had tattoos. People that talk trash about, I was going to say people that talk trash about the government, but it's, you know, it's a lot of truth in that. But, you know, he had a lot of passports and all that type of stuff. A lot of people that flee their country and talk down on their country is it's a red flag in a way. But, like I said, there's some truth in it because, you know, we're not really supposed to be governed. And the government depends on manipulating people, whether it be for a righteous reason or a nefarious reason. It's still manipulation at the end of the day, you know. So yeah. But like I said, I don't like talking about that stuff no more because I'm not getting the viewership, and, you know, the people that come across it aren't really having the dialogue with me and all of that. So, like I said, I feel like all this stuff is, I hate to say this word, but I believe all this stuff is like a psyop at this point. Like being on the internet. So, I really don't like I feel like it's trying to like set us up, you know. They put us like on a watch list and put us on like a no-fly list, you know, stop bank accounts and all that type of stuff. Like, I don't. You feel me? Not to say I'm doing anything wrong, but it's the fact that we're talking about a lot of deep information that could wake people up, you know. Like I said, the government depends on people being manipulated and all that type of stuff. So I don't know if everybody's supposed to know this information. I'm on the main road now, so you know, I'm just walking around. Like I said, this is Allentown Road. It goes all the way down. Like I said, this is the same road. Like if you go like right back here, if you go this way, you can see the Andrews Air Force Base. The Andrews Air Force Base is that way, behind me, and in front of me, that's where the shopping center is, where the Giant is, the Giant food store, the Giant brand food store, and that's where I used to be at, where the McDonald's and all that. You know, we got a CVS. That's where the high school, Crossland High School is, where what's the name? Where I used to go to school at. I graduated in 2016. Like I said, that's some Spanish music. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted for that. But yeah, like I was saying, long story short, the gist of this video is you should be exercising. You should be drinking at least 8 bottles of water a day. You shouldn't be on social media 24. I mean, you can be on social media 24/7, but not looking at entertainment. You feel me? Because I still come across a lot of good information. You know, I follow pages like The Latest in Space. They talk about, you know, a lot of stuff that I can't find. You feel me? Or the research I can't do on my own. You know, because I'm not in the STEM fields, unfortunately. So, and even if I was, I still can't be everywhere at the same time, like that movie, Everywhere All at Once. That's a cool movie though. I didn't really get to see it 100%, but like I like the trailer and everything. I like the trailer and all that. So I was trying to think. What's that? I also love that movie, The Crazy Rich Asians. Like they be having a lot of cool movies, man. But it's called The Crazy Rich Asians. And y'all see it's such a beautiful sky. Oh, look at that. Like it's really been cloudy all week. It's been cloudy all week. It was raining. So this is really the first time I've been outside all day, for real. You know. Some person that's randomly on the side of the street in their car. But see, a lot of people, they would be like, oh, hopefully they don't get out the car and rob us or something. Or rob me. Cause I hate people I hate people that have tinted windows, and you know, imagine still having tinted windows in 2026. You know, y'all just look sus. It's like you're asking for the police to pull up on y'all. I don't really get it. And that's at the least, you know. The police will pull up on you. Other hood dudes will pull up on you. Like they may think you're another person. Like it's so dumb. But I think a lot of people, you know, all that manipulation stuff, they think having a fishbowl is a bad thing. Like they don't want to be seen and all that stuff. So I get it, but it's like it attracts even worse people. You know. That cookout food made me so hungry. And I just ate all those noodles though, which isn't shit, but it's like, you know, it's the fact that I just ate. And I recommend y'all do that as soon as you're done eating. Well, not immediately, but you know, you should walk all that weight off. You know, make sure you don't have a gut and all that. Cause sometimes I be seeing some women, they be having like these crazy guts on them, but they be having these tight leggings. It looks ridiculous. So they have to put like the leggings over their stomach. It's so silly. It's a really beautiful neighborhood though. Very, very peaceful. But it's almost like California in a way. Not nowhere near it, but it's like, it's that type of aesthetic of California. Everything looks nice, but you know, they could switch just like that. You know. And a lot of people, I was gonna say about the woke movement, how people, they really don't like to associate themselves with that anymore because they see all the people with the blue hair and the liberals. You know, it's a, you know, like both sides are actually bad. You feel me? Like that left side. What was it called? I can't think of it. The Antifa, that's what it is. And like those type of people. And the Republicans, they're talking about how it's pretty much like they said communism is trying to conquer the West, you know, trying to conquer capitalism. But you know, we live in America, we should have all that type of stuff. Not just, but really the main thing should be capitalism though, because everybody, I wouldn't say everybody wins, but if you're a winner, what's good, bro? I ain't see it. All I saw was like an electric bike. I ain't even know. But see, that's what I'm saying though. It's a good thing that was a friendly person. You could have, you know, if you wanted to, you could have took my chain and all that bullshit. So that would have told me the phone would have dropped and everything. All you heard was boop, bap, 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 bap. And once again, that was a Hispanic at that. So it's like, damn, you can't even, like, people don't even be friendly. They be illegal immigrants. I don't want to assume, but it's like, it's still though. Y'all still foreigners in this country in a way. Y'all don't be like nice or whatever. People only be nice when they have to be. Now check out this joint. I was gonna show the electric bike that the Hispanic dude had, but I didn't want to be weird. So I remember I used to want the Kawasaki 500, I believe, like a long time ago. But I was like, I wouldn't even use it for real. I mean, I would drive it around here, but it's not really that fast. It's not even that fast. That's crazy. Imagine if I didn't look back. That BMW would have smacked the shit out of me. You know, because when I'm out here, I usually don't be on my phone. You know, I be on a swivel. Well, not really a swivel, but it's like, you know, it's good to be aware. it's good to be aware and all that. My phone was, when I left the house, not after I took a piss, but before I left the house, it was about 100%. My phone is on 61 now. And it was already a 30-minute video, so I'm gonna go ahead and walk back home. Anywho. And I noticed with live streaming, like it's so many people doing live streaming now. I don't really, like I said, I don't like to associate my stuff with that type of stuff. You know, look how the rappers are starting to run the live streaming now. Like, they cool people and all, but it's like, that was supposed to be the suburban thing, you feel me? That was supposed to be like the cool suburban kids thing. But, you know, these type of guys, they try to, well, it's fair game because, you know, we listen to the rap music and all that, but it's like, damn. They weren't really fucking with that live streaming shit until they realized how much money people be getting. They seen dudes like Aiden Ross and Casanat and National Speed get so much love. And that's really what they wanted to have as rappers and all that. So it's not really, and they see that rap stuff not really hitting no more because they're not talking about nothing no more. You know, the rap game was supposed to be the top people in the city, you know? It's supposed to be the most money getting dudes in the city, you know, flexing all their jewelry and all the cool clothes and all the stuff that we couldn't get, you know? Like the cars, the women. You know, they was actually rapping about stuff back then. You know, they was making good music. So all that stuff is so lame now. And as you can see, it's been taken over by white boys and Hispanics. I would even say the Africans, you know? And, you know, and once again, all that culture has been taken over by gangs and all that. So, you know, they're extorting them. And they probably doing it to the live streamers too. Which is why which is probably why they, what's the name? Y'all heard that? These people be trolling me. That's why it's good to be on swivel. But like, it feels so good out here. I mean, I'm gonna go in the backyard. Like I said, there's so many people. Y'all seen the cookout, like down that hill. You know, people suck so bad they don't really invite the neighborhood no more. So I get it. You know, he cooking out and all that. You know, neighbor cooking out. He not gonna offer nobody no food, but it's all good though. You know, if it come down to it, you know. if it come down to it, if we hungry enough, we're gonna take that shit. So that's why it's important for everybody to make sure we take care of each other. You know, because I'm the nice guy. You know, a lot of people not gonna be so nice when they're hungry. So. But yeah, though, man, I was just saying how this is gonna be my last video until, because I'm gonna stay up all night. I'm not even gonna go to sleep for the, it's gonna be that Wednesday. Well, it starts 3 p.m. Thursday, but I'm gonna start celebrating on Wednesday. So I'm not even gonna go to sleep because I want everything to be so trippy. You know what I'm saying? Because if you stay up, it's like your mind gets all weird and all that. So hopefully I don't fall asleep. You know, I try to stay up, but I can't really do that type of stuff no more. So yeah. what, 21 minutes in. And like I said, I can't make videos over 2 hours, so like I said, I feel so limited. I feel so oppressed and everything. And I noticed, like, with the shorts, I get so many views on there. Excuse me. I get so many views on there. It's kind of tempting to just make YouTube shorts, but with YouTube shorts, you have to make everything short and sweet, which I don't mind, but it's like, see, I be flowing. It's like I can't make a 15-second short. Or in the 3-minute ones, people don't really want to see. Like, the only 3-minute shorts people want to see is like those AI slop soap operas, I think that's what it's called, and those dramas. Like they want to see those K-pop dramas and all that bullshit. So, and I don't believe in making that type of stuff. Like I knew it. There's all these mosquitoes. All that. Just being out here for less than 30 seconds. And yeah, y'all see how easy it was for that Nitro Camden guy to blow up. That dude only had, he only had one follower. Like, he only had one person watching his stuff. All of a sudden, he has everybody loving him and everything. He even got Doja Cat saying everybody go follow him and shit. And then we go watch him. He ain't talking about shit. He's not even talking about shit, I promise you. So, that's what, 5 o'clock? Like, I'm all itchy now. The thing bit me. And they said that, they claimed that a mosquito thing out in New York, they claim that the thing bites you and your brain swell up or something like that. So, and I know y'all seen the thing about the blueberries, so it's like everything's so fucked. It's kind of hard to, like I said, that's why I recommend only eating really once a day and only eating veggie lunches. I saw another thing where they said at the farmer's market that this lady, she bought grocery store foods, like the blueberries or something of that nature, and she took all the stuff out the container and put it in her own individual thing. So that's why it's important to have FDA regulated things, because I believe, and these are white people too, so they would be getting over on people. They do little trickster things. So all this stuff is very, very deep. That's why it's important. I only go to the Amish market sometimes, like when I have a couple dollars. Like, I would get like good banana bread. I would get those ribs. They have really good ice cream. They have good pretzels. And it's all fresh too. So you still gotta watch all that stuff. It's really, you gotta really be on your A game nowadays. Because like I said, everybody's in survival mode right now. And everybody has to make money and all that type of stuff. And I do too, but I sacrificed all my stuff just to learn knowledge. And as you can see, it's not really the time to be working right now. It's everything's so crazy. But I need money. And as y'all can see, this YouTube stuff not really hitting on nothing. And I'm seeing the people that's blowing up. I'm seeing the people that's getting known and everything, and I don't want to say I can't compete with y'all, because as you can see, I'm running circles around everybody making these easy videos, these 1-hour videos talking about all this knowledge. Look at the homie. I was like, what is that climbing on that? And I think they said they got black squirrels, like literally the color black squirrels in Detroit. They said it's like a rare thing, but they got a bunch of them out there. And I was at my public park one time and I saw a albino squirrel. I was shocked. I didn't know all those things existed around here. I remember I went to a cemetery and walked around one time. I saw a peacock. Like look at this shit. Flies, all that bullshit. And I gotta make sure those things don't get in my eye or nothing. Cause I read somewhere if a fly gets in your eye, it can lay eggs into your eye and all that type of shit. So it's like all that stuff will be over with. And, you know, like I said, I don't have health care or nothing, so I don't have health care and all that, so I'd be screwed. You know. Bro. So the fly trolling me. And see, I don't wanna make all these things go extinct. You know, I wanna kill all this stuff, but you know. But yes. Like I said, we're in the age of Aquarius. Everything is being revealed. You know, neighbors, family, friends, associates, co-workers. You know, working a job, the government. You know, everything is all what you would call a PvP, a 1v1. Everybody is, you know, you got to maneuver around every single person. So, and y'all can say it's paranoid, but I mean, this is really not though. Because have one wrong argument or have one wrong viewpoint from the people around you, I promise you they're gonna leave you behind. And if they don't, it's only because they need you. You feel me? And that's two totally different things. Like some people need to have friends and all that, because they claim, you know, loneliness and all that. You can die by that. So you know, people have to hold on to friendships and all that. And I realized that too. You know, like all my friends are gone, and I see like the people nowadays. I'm like, I would never be friends with y'all. I would never be friends with people. You know, so I like a long time ago, I really had it nice with all these type of friends and everything. So. Everybody cooking out today. You know, it's the last days of summer, man. You know, it's about to be September. That still blows my mind. It still blows my mind that, you know, I didn't get to really do everything I wanted to do this summer. But that's not really true. You know, I just which is major things, but I didn't get to go to Virginia Beach. I didn't get to go to Ocean City. I didn't get to go to Williamsburg, and I didn't get to go to, well, you know, Six Flags is gone now, so I'm glad I had that fun while I was doing it. You know, I ran into my ex. Her name was Dallas. I ran into my ex while being at the Six Flags. You know, I went by myself, but she was with her siblings and all that. You know, I just linked up with her. So it was fun. But I almost lost aura. I had to get the fuck up out of there because I did so many roller coasters and everything, and I was high at the time. I was about to throw up, and I didn't want to throw up in front of her, so I was like, I gotta go. You feel me? So I kind of regret not hanging out with her, but it is what it is. So Dallas, if you see this, I love you so much. We can link up at any time. Just let me know. And I'm mad because she was flirting with me too. But I was like, you know, I wasn't really, like I said, I don't believe in casual sex and all that no more. So it's like, yeah. You know, shout out to all my exes, man. Once you have certain females in your life, and then you see the rest of these females, it's like, ugh. What y'all call it, the ick? Like I be getting the ick like a motherfucker with these women, well, with everybody. But it's like I'm just saying, like that's what I'm attracted to, women. So, but yeah, man. Hope everybody doing well. Like I said, I'm not doing any more singing videos. I'm not doing any more dance videos. This is my last time talking about
negativity, unless it's like some serious stuff. You know, I mean, this is all serious too, but I'm saying like on a mainstream level, you know, like a food shortage or something like that. You know, I was gonna make a little video about what I would be doing right now if I was president, but I didn't really get a chance to make that yet. Like I was supposed to make that video like a few weeks ago. Well, not a few weeks ago, last week. But I was like, I'm good. Like I said, I don't like making these videos like that. But once I start, it's like it's cool. You know what I mean? And I kind of want to make me some more noodles, but I hate to eat up all the food. You feel me? I hate to be an asshole. And these noodles are so trash. It's like I love the top ramen, but that one is like the noodles are too soggy. So I don't know if I'm cooking it wrong. And then I make them too spicy at that. It's like it be so spicy that it's almost unbearable. You know what I mean? Cause I don't, like I said, I don't know how y'all be doing that. It's like the food be so spicy, it don't even taste like food. It just, it just tastes like it's burning your mouth, and it's like, no, I want food. You know. And I would walk to McDonald's, but you know that's like fun food. As soon as I eat that, it's like I'm kind of hungry again. You feel me?